let us begin not with the film. Let us begin with The Oath. December 2022. Variety magazine is filming its annual Directors on Directors series. Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron are sitting across from each other, two of the most powerful filmmakers in Hollywood. And instead of discussing their greatest career achievements or their most celebrated films, they are making a blood oath. Not a handshake, not a professional agreement, a blood oath. To make Alita Battle Angel 2. And the reason that image, two legendary directors pledging their creative souls to a sequel that has no studio greenlight, has become the defining image of this franchise's fight for survival, is simple. It is the most honest thing that has happened in this entire development story. Because everything else has been coded language and corporate statements and carefully diplomatic interviews. The blood oath was just two men who love this story, refusing to pretend they are neutral about whether it gets made. Now let us talk about what the Alita Army, the global fan campaign that has been petitioning, projecting, and pressuring for this sequel since 2019, actually needs to understand about where things stand in 2026. Because the picture is complicated, and the details matter enormously. James Cameron has confirmed 2 sequels are in development. Not 1, 2. He accidentally did this in a Forbes financial interview, where he mentioned working on the new Alita Battle Angel films in Austin, casually, as if announcing multiple sequels to a journalist who covers venture capital was completely unremarkable. The Forbes writer presumably did not immediately understand the significance of the word films, plural. The Alita Army understood it within approximately 6 minutes. Robert Rodriguez has confirmed he is returning to direct. Rosa Salazar has confirmed she is returning as Alita, the actress whose performance through revolutionary motion capture technology made a digital character feel more emotionally real than most entirely flesh and blood performances of that decade, has never once wavered in her commitment to returning. Every interview, every convention appearance, every social media update, Rosa Salazar has been consistent. She is ready. She will be there. She wants to tell this story. And that consistency matters more than any studio announcement, because it tells you that the person who actually inhabits the character has never for a single second let go of her. Now let us talk about what makes Alita Battle Angel 2 potentially the most narratively rich science fiction sequel currently in development anywhere in Hollywood. Because the original film's ending was not an ending. It was a declaration of war. Alita stands atop a motorball trophy, looks up at the floating city of Zalem above Iron City, the city where Nova controls everything, and declares without words that she is coming for him. Edward Norton, playing Nova, was revealed in the original film's most chilling moment, looking down at Alita from Zalem with complete contempt. And if you understand anything about the source manga by Yukito Kishiro, you understand that this character is not just the villain of a second film. He is the architect of an entire civilization's oppression. He is the reason Iron City exists the way it does. He is the reason the scrapyard produced a girl with a berserker body who should not logically exist. Every single piece of Alita's story leads back to Nova. And Nova has been waiting 14 years in that floating city for the sequel that will finally let Edward Norton loose. The source material, Yukito Kishiro's Gunma manga, is one of the most expansive and richly detailed science fiction universes in Japanese comics. The original film adapted roughly the first 2 volumes. There are 9 volumes of the original run, plus the extended Last Order and Mars Chronicle continuations. Cameron has read all of it. Rodriguez has studied all of it. The sequel material available to them is not a problem. The story is sitting there, fully formed, waiting to be translated to screen. Hugo's death drives Alita to Zalem. The Motorball Championship becomes a weapon in Nova's hands. The truth about Alita's origins, what she actually is, and where she actually came from before Dr. Ido found her in the scrapyard, is the most important revelation the sequel can deliver. And that revelation changes everything about how you understand. The single largest obstacle between the Blood Oath and the first day of principal photography is Disney. The acquisition of 20th Century Studios, which owns the Alita 1P, put this film inside the largest entertainment company on Earth at a moment when that company was going through considerable restructuring. Robert Rodriguez described the situation with his most diplomatically optimistic sentence: "Disney is starting to make movies again," which is the most carefully chosen phrase a filmmaker can use when the company holding his project has spent 2 years in administrative reorganization. But the key word in that sentence is again. The pivot has happened, the green lights are being issued, and an IP with $405 million of demonstrated global audience support, a vocal and organized fan base, a confirmed director, a confirmed star, and the involvement of James Cameron, who just produced a film that earned $2.3 billion, is not an IP that should be difficult to greenlight. John Landau. We cannot tell this story without him. Cameron's producing partner of 30 years, who passed away on July 5, 2024, who stood at the Avatar Way of Water premiere in December 2022 and said simply, "There is a little film called Alita Battle Angel that we would love to circle back and do a sequel to," who championed this project until his final days. Every step toward Alita 2 now carries the weight of his absence and the obligation of his last wish. When Cameron mentioned the new Alita Battle Angel films in Austin, when Rodriguez confirmed his return, when Rosa Salazar said she will always be ready, they were honoring something more than a franchise. They were honoring a promise made by a man who believed in this story with everything he had. The Alita army has never stopped. 7 years of campaigns, buildings projected with Alita's enormous eyes, petitions with hundreds of thousands of signatures, social media movements coordinated across multiple countries, fan tribute videos, convention appearances demanding answers. The audience that built itself around this film has done everything an audience can do except greenlight the sequel itself. And that, finally, appears to be coming. No official date, no confirmed production start, but James Cameron, Robert Rodriguez, Rosa Salazar, 2 confirmed sequels, A Blood Oath, and Jon Landau's Last Promise. The Battle Angel has been waiting in that scrapyard for 7 years. She is not done yet.